Hi everybody. I thought I'd do a quick video here of a project I've been working on over the last 3 or 4 days. Actually, the last week or so. Um, a buddy of mine, Bill Denton, quite a long time ago, he posted some photos of N-scale Berkshire that he weathered, and I always thought that'd be a neat locomotive to build and have on my layout, even though I'm mostly Milwaukee Road, but I do have some Chicago Northwestern equipment. So I finally pulled the trigger and went on everybody's favorite auction site and found a lifelike undecorated 284 Van Swearingen Berkshire that I had the intention of making into a Chicago Northwestern Class J4 Berkshire. Now, if you look at this shell, and if you know what the prototype looks like, the domes aren't right. Because again, this is a Chesapeake and Ohio prototype. So that sand dome on the top isn't right, but the overall look of the locomotive, it gives an impression of the Chicago Northwestern prototype. So I thought I could decal it up and paint it and make it look acceptable for use on some of my Chicago Northwestern trains. So, as I said, this is a lifelike undecorated model. These came out before lifelike tooling was sold to Walthers. So I mean, it was probably 25 years ago now. I don't know. It's been a long time. So, anyways, you can't get these things, and they're kind of rare, especially to find an undecorated one. Now, the previous owner did some work on this. There's some train order boards up there that he must have put on there, and I didn't know how he attached them, so I didn't rip them off. So they're still there, but there's a few other things too. But overall, it was in good shape. It runs like a Swiss watch, so mechanically it was in really good shape. So I got to work on it. I ordered a set of decals from Circus City Decals in Bearville, Wisconsin, and applied them. So and let's see what else. I put real coal in the coal bunker. There's decals on the back there for the tender, including the capacity of the water, the tender, and stuff. I had to add DCC to this, and that was a challenge. Trying to get that locomotive shell off was a challenge, to say the least. But there's a Digitrax 126T decoder in there, one of those little bitty hardwired white ones. The only thing that's not working is I have not figured out how to wire up the headlight yet. That's going to be a later project, but everything else works really well on it. All the lettering is mostly correct for it. I picked out some of the details on it, like the whistle and the safety valves. Still needs to be weathered, but overall, it's runs really well, and it was a nice little project to do. So to go along with the locomotive, I thought I needed a appropriate caboose for it. So I again went on everybody's favorite auction website and picked up a Microtrains wood sheath straight cupola caboose. This was formerly Santa Fe, and I painted it. And let's see, the decals again are Circus City decals, and this also has the acrylic light window kits installed in it. So these cabooses are not as easy as they look to get that cupola off, and I actually cracked it when I put it back together, but I hit it with some paint, and you can't really tell, so it's going to be fine. So the trucks on it are actually Bachmann old-time passenger car trucks, because that's the closest thing I could find to match the Chicago Northwestern prototype on these wood cabooses. And then it has Kato low-profile wheel sets in it, and I also took the factory Microtrains N-scale couplers off of it and put Microtrains 905 Z-scale couplers on it, just to make it look a little more prototypical. One of the other things about this locomotive. They were notoriously not very good pullers. I found, besides it being a little light on the mechanism, and I added some weight when I took it apart, the main culprit was the tender. The electrical pickup was on the tender. Really made the wheels so they didn't want to roll at all. So I took the pickup off the front tender truck, and I left them on the back one, but I took one of the axles out on the back tender truck. So essentially, there's only four wheels on the tender truck that are picking up power, but it still spreads out the electrical pickup, so I don't have any problems going through any of my turnouts or anything like that. It rolls really smooth now, and I can pull probably on straight and level track. I could pull over 20 cars right now. It's hooked up to a 20 car train, and we're going to take it around the layout so you can see what it looks like. So again, there's no headlight, but it runs like a dream. As you can see, it's pretty smooth. I adjusted some of the CVs to get a more realistic top end speed. So we'll follow it around the layout here. Again, this is my Milwaukee Road layout, set in 1953 between Portage and La Crosse, Wisconsin. So right now we're exiting the Portage staging yard heading west. Oops, that was my fault. I just hit the throttle button. Sorry about that. That was not the locomotive's fault. One thing I still, like I said, I'm going to weather this. I'm also going to shorten up that distance between on the drawbar between the locomotive and the tender. That's way too big. So, but it's a work in progress. So that's kind of it for today. Hope you enjoyed watching the video, even though there was that little technical difficulty in there in the middle. So sorry about that. But that's one lap around the layout for the new Chicago Northwestern J4 class 284 Berkshire. So yeah, I'm real happy with it. So, see you next time.